Hello, everybody. I was sitting down too low, so my entire face was covered by the little DM icon. Welcome to the Tales of Revedia. This is where you play Dungeons and Dragons with a significant amount of less dragons, I'd say, than mini games. But we have dungeons. We're actually doing dungeon now. Um, Everyone's here
We
today.
did
God bless.
we did recently have some
There
dragons.
were some dragons recently, but
Mhm.
I've been thinking about it, and I definitely could have had more dragon early.
Mm,
But
I
it's
think we're
fine.
good.
Dragons are
Um,
canon.
Everyone's here. We got why am I doing it? Am I You know what? Sure. We got our good old Ethan RMS machine playing our not necrophiliac cleric. That's with an asterisk. It's conditional. Um Below them, we have Atomic playing Terran, our shifty rogue who now has reliable talent, or has had it for a while and can make insight checks. Um we have ugh, one, two, right. I had to make sure it was the right and not the reverse because you guys are in different orders on Discord than you are on the thing. Um, we got Sean here with Kalis, good old buddy boy who has a big stick, and also a very angry Martin. Um, Next to that, the one that is a commissioned image and not so. This person, to be clear, is not an actual cat. That's artwork. That's Sparks, our wild magic sorcerer. Um,
Can't prove anything.
That's actually true. I don't want to think about that because I saw snippets from the movie Cats and it made me uncomfortable. Um, and lastly, but certainly not least, we have the guy who misses once every 3 sessions and causes me lots of mental fatigue by doing so. But that's okay because we love him anyways. So, to briefly recap our adventure, our party has been traveling through the Emerald Lane, a large and lustrous jungle in the southern region of the land Revidias, in order to seek out a temple of Mystra. This has been something that was recently revealed as a side project by Sparks, that he had commissioned a separate adventuring party to go into this and investigate it so you guys could all come up here later, which is now. Um, Making your way through, you ran into a few interesting forces, a group of Yonti who seem to be also looking for the temple, as well as a group of non-licensed Croxigors, um, who are vehemently opposed to being here. Um, Entering the temple through the first few trials, as you have as you have actually found your way into the entrance. As such, there was a few interesting magical objects representative of Mystra and her subordinate gods. Just as a reminder for what those are, they are one, an orb that gives you the effects of the Foresight spell. Uh, Two, a tome that contains every spell that has I believe it has 3 uses, but it has to be a spell that you can cast, or this within your levels. And lastly, a staff that allows a spell to be cast at a higher level than you're currently casting it at by channeling it through the staff. Bu- 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 Other things. Um, Actually, no, we'll get to that in a second. As you guys had collected those items and making your way further into the temple, you took one of the paths that led you into the sort of large triangular room with the shifting colors all across the walls, and on the ground was this text that read, "There's a beauty in symmetry, for that can find the patterns in life, and once one finds the pattern, one can find the path." And as you guys are inside of this room, um, we're actually going to cut. He walked away. I was gonna say we're gonna cut to the outside. We're doing this.
Oh
Well,
shit, she didn't come in with us, did she?
no. And I need to find it.
Right, right. I put
Ethan!
Shogun on babysitting duty
I actually have to. Where is
because
that?
she was not a person. She had lost her personhood that episode. Hey, How you doing?
So, as the party is gathered around or inside, we cut to the entrance where Jogun is waiting with her small army aside Russ, because you two had sort of been on kind of guard duty. Um, so, first things first, as you guys are making your way forward, or I'm sorry, standing there. And just to be clear for you, because you don't have an image of it because you weren't here last time, Ethan. So basically, the area behind you, you guys are standing at like a large circular area which has like these waterfalls going into it. At the center of which is a platform that they all took to get into the temple itself. You watched that when they actually went onto it. It kind of like the area like flooded and they lowered into it. Um, and the second thing, they kind of walked along an invisible path to get there because there was things below. Um, so as you were standing there, Rusk is out there as well, the crocodile man, because he is viciously paranoid about it being forced to go into the temple of the goddess or the god who's of the area, because he's sensible. Is there anything you would be doing as you're sort of waiting for now? Because I know technically you probably would have wanted to go in, but this we'll rock it like this for now.
Well, I've already agreed to guard. Then I'll probably make a perimeter. I'll do that first, and then basically essentially set up my skeletons to do like a like what's the word? Do a patrol, and then if they
Okay.
were to see something, they would make noise.
Okay. So, Rusk would see that. You would see be keeping a pretty wide berth from all of those things. Uh, and as you are uh, waiting outside, as probably been mid period, maybe only like 10 minutes or so. Um, you hear what's it called? Hmm. Oh, excuse me. You hear like this sort of large sounds, like clattering sounds coming. So did you have them just like make noise, or were they like on like attack other creatures? Like what would you have had them doing?
I'll let you make noise and come back to me. Like I don't think one skeleton doing anything.
Cool. Um, then as they're sort of spread throughout the forest, um, further along, deep into the woods, because you wouldn't really be able to see them just because the thickness of some of this area, and also they wouldn't have been able to like cross the water towards where the fall on the other sides of the falls because it's kind of deep, and also 8 strength skeleton. Oh no, they don't have 8 strength, but they're still skeletons. Um, you hear like the sound of something like hitting the tree, hitting a tree like way ahead of you. Uh, and you sense that because this makes sense in my head. You sense that the spell effect has waned or has ceased on one of the undead, as if it had been destroyed by something.
That's terrifying. I would want to investigate, but I'm probably going to stay here for now. I'm actually going to ask. I forgot the gentleman's name. The
Rusk.
crack a sword. Yes, Rusk. If he could go check that out for me, please.
Okay. And he would sort of look towards you confused because he wouldn't have been able to pick up on it. And he just like points in the direction that you're looking at. Over.
Yeah. And then I also tell him, please don't actually fight. Just come back and let me know what's over there. You're not engaged.
Make a persuasion check for that part.
Oh, it's like that, huh?
You're daring to inspire cowardice in his heart. 8. And he goes and looks at you. Okay, I won't hit them. It. and you see he begins what's it called, trudging off into the forest. Luckily, though, you could kind of see behind him pretty clearly because of his natural bulk, he kind of pushes aside, much like the foliage, in the area. Um, and as he's making forward, you see him. He gets maybe about like 60 feet away, before it becomes to get a bit too dense. So you can only really see his sort of silhouette in the darkness. Um, and then a few more seconds pass, and then you would hear this massive roar, which you're assuming comes from him. You've heard this before, uh, back when he encountered you all, and you hear the sound of like combat ensuing. You hear the sound of weapons or like weapon or what's it called? Things hitting things. It's the best way to describe it. Sometimes the trees, sometimes the people. But it's not till very briefly after that where he actually you begin to see this massive figure rushing through the forest back in your direction. It is Rusk. You see the front of his chest is filled with like about a half dozen arrows, and he has these several marks on him. It seems that he was ambushed, because he's easy to see coming. And he goes, you just yell, "Too many! Bad idea! Not running away! Tactical retreating!" As he's making his way back towards you.
And I'm gonna just assume the safest place probably go back in or go into the temple.
Ah, that's a very far retreat. Maybe we can hold the line here. Actually, maybe we can find a death in honor, an honorable death in this spot, right here by the water.
Mm, we could. How many?
All I saw was their eyes through the darkness. There was lots of eyes, though, but there's many eyes in this forest. However, none of those eyes were golden eyes. That's bad.
Can I call back my skeletons?
You can, and you're beginning to hear other movement coming from further along in that from that section of the forest.
Terrifying. Sorry, it's been a minute since I played it. I probably won't like to cast a spell of some sort.
Yeah, you feel free to look at your sheet if you need a second.
I forget. Did we tell Ethan about like the walking on air like Indiana Jones bit?
Yeah, it is. See, that's going to be the interesting part, is that the path is not directly visible to you.
But you saw us like walk towards the temple like diagonally just through the air.
Yeah, I think I'm going to save a spell. Actually, how hurt does he look?
He's a pretty hardy guy. Um, However, the one thing that you would know from your brief experience you had with assuming this is the Yonti is that those arrows or whatever ones definitely had poison on them. But he seems to be still moving for now. Like he doesn't seem to be like close to out of the action. Take hide and all that shit.
Um, I don't have anything for that. So, how long will it take my? Do you think I probably want to wait for my skeletons to get back before I venture on, and then I'll let him know I'm gonna go in. You can follow me if you like.
How are you? Are you just trying to like remember the path you watched them take, or do you have another way you'd like to go about doing it?
Lord, I wasn't sure last time. I have no idea. Did when I watched him do it, did it seem difficult?
No, it seemed like a straightforward path, but they were following behind Sparks because he was the only one who could see it.
Uh, can I
I
see
was
it?
the chosen one.
No, you cannot. You cannot see it. You just see a hole with a thing in the middle.
All right, never mind. I'll stand my ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you're sort of waiting there, what the heck? Skeletons at arms as they sort of gathered around the area, forming like a frontal shield around the two of you. Uh, you watch as the trees themselves, the trunks of which bending, begin to like almost like they're parting. And at first you see what's it called? Several Yanti. It'd be about six of them that are sort of visible along like the front sides of this path. But in the middle of which you see a figure, the same figure which you had seen consulting these Yanti when they were ambushing the other party beforehand. Did I have an image for him? I got to. Where is. I had to look at the other map, I think. But you see him, what's it called? The tree is seemingly like parting for him as he's making his way forward. And he's just looking over at you. You see Rusk looking visibly nervous. I don't wait. I don't know. I'll have to find his image in a second. And as he's striding down the path, you hear the sort of deep falsetto bellows. Well, this was much easier to find than I was hoping for. Luckily, there was ample hints left behind. And do you remember? Okay, just as a reminder, he sort of like this. He is a giant, about like 15 feet, 15, 20 feet tall or so. Covered in like his skin. His skin itself is actually green. And now that you have a better look at him, you can see like patchworks under him, like on the bottom sides of like his arms and his other parts of his body seem to have like scales on them, as well as he just seems like covered in like foliage. Like there are like branches sticking out of his hair, like leaves that seemed like ivy, seeming like growing like along like his arm, like down to his wrist, just covered in a bunch of stuff. And he just
Hi, I'm Young M.
and he gives a smile that you've seen from enough people to know is not friendly. Will you be our guides inside? So courteous of you.
I don't really know my way inside either, but we can do it together if you like.
Are you lying? Is this a deception check thing? Because I don't feel like that's how you actually feel.
It's not. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be okay with this scenario.
Can you make me a deception check? Because that doesn't feel genuine to me.
Okay, but I'm not lying. I don't want to fight him. 13.
And as you say that, you watch as his eyes narrow. By all means, then. I'm assuming you must know the path, given that your friends aren't here, and none of the scouts from the other sides of the woods have made a noise yet. And as he sort of says that, you see like along like this like circular area, other Yanti are beginning to just like pop up from like the tree line, like the kind of like barely, but still like hidden within it. Hard to get like a good gauge on their actual numbers, but along the ring of it, you can see at least like another dozen or so that have made themselves visible. By all means, then, lead the way.
All right. And I will attempt to try to walk this path. I might do like a whole like use my shovel to like tap in front of me, make sure it's solid before I actually walk.
So you would know this. They tried that. It didn't. Objects would just fall through it.
Oh, Lord, this thing's terrifying.
And you hear like under his breath, and what he would consider a whisper, but is clearly audible to everybody else. This is not good. Snakekin are not good. They bring bad omens, and that he's here in front of us Means that he's probably going to eat us because snake can eat people. And you see, like, you look like you would taste vile, actually, and everything else has no bones on it except for the one covered in a tin can. And he goes, and you watch as like Russ silences at that. I'm here for the path. I desire what lies inside the temple.
That's
Make
funny.
this
That's what
easy.
Sparks want.
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't know Sparks' name. So you're gonna try and lead. Is there any? Are you just gonna raw dog it, go off memory, or what you saw them do, or you have?
The way for me to try this. So, yeah. I'm assuming my skeletons. If I'll just can't do it, my skeletons probably can't walk around on it too either.
They are suffused with magic, so if you would try to make them take a step onto it, they can.
Okay, and it just falls into the water. I'm assuming.
Yeah, like regular like objects themselves, like if you're like a rock or a stone or sticks, they kind of just go right. And there is it seems that
Can I not make a skeleton just like a pole and then like use that as a tapping stick?
are you going to lift a skeleton and use them as a like a you know, with the rules that I've set up for this, that is technically legal.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a
Grab his
skeleton
legs.
blind.
So you have like one, so you're like wheelbarrowing one skeleton ahead of you. Then it'd be a
Like a
relatively
fucked up elephant trunk.
This is a product of my own. I done this.
It's really good for his spine, actually. It's really
Like it's good to decompress it. As you're proceeding, can you just make me it'd be like a DC like 13 investigation check.
Let's do it.
22? Yeah. You're able to find the path and you watch as he's leading down. You see some of the Yonti begin to follow him. And he puts
Did Russ follow me?
He is like sort of like standing back still, but he's like between you and the giant until the giant is standing like maybe like 5 feet behind him. You see.
Okay. So after I'm assuming not the Yonti, me, Rusk, and my skeleton horde gets through, and I guess when it lives in the portal hole, I want to cast anti-life shell on the path.
You gotta post that spell. I don't. My encyclopedic knowledge fails me in that aspect.
That's fine. Oh, I don't mean to cast it. Well, I guess skeletons don't matter as long as me and Russ walk past it. I'll cast it.
And hedging out creatures other than undead and constructs. So here's the thing: Rusk would not be able to walk ahead of you. So if he's behind you, that's going to push him back on the path. But if you want to do that, that's fine.
Can I cast it behind him?
It extends from you. So it's an area that stays around you.
Oh,
it's like
unfortunate. I don't want to kill him. Okay, no, I won't cast it then.
Give him a piggyback ride.
Okay. So as you guys begin sort of spiraling down this ramp, you see the many eyes, sort of golden flits of light coming from the waters below. As guided fairly well, you guys would eventually end up reaching the bottom. And as you were making your way down there, actually, would he know that? I have to think for a second. No, he wouldn't. So as you guys would be making your way down to the bottom, he would not bring any of the Yonti down there with him. You would see he would say something back to them in, well, it'd be in Yanti, so kind of hard to translate. Um, but as you guys are all standing along the platform, and he's sort of looking at you expectantly. Well,
So this is as far as I got. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I was waiting outside.
So you did see how they got in there. Question is, are you gonna say it? Where basically they all got a different star and they cast a spell.
Uh, do I have enough casters to even do that?
I mean, it's only the three of you.
But that guy doesn't know how to cast spells. Pointing at Rusk.
Yeah, he does not. Rusk does not know how to cast spells.
I don't suppose you have sending. You could message us.
Well, don't we have the little earphone things where you're like, "Yo, what's up?"
We actually do, don't we?
Yeah,
You guys do have sending stones, I believe. You have, yeah, you have like little.
yeah.
I think
I
it's,
feel like I
We
was
have
this whole time talking
walkie-talkies.
very loudly, like me and this giant guy are walking down. Oh, we're stuck at this puzzle, huh? Very, very loud obnoxious, and I'm pretty sure she's like, "What in the hell?"
yeah.
You know.
Oh,
And the fucked up part is there's enough distance between you all that the message does not go through. Not with the headpiece or earpiece. Because I believe it's a 200-foot range. After boom, boom, boom. Either way, it's not. I know it's not. No, I can't remember if it's 200 or 150.
I can just cast sending.
You can do that, yes.
Yeah, I will do that actually.
Okay. What are your words?
Hey, I need some help back here. There's like this big guy. He's not very nice. I offered him some crackers, but he said no.
who's your target?
Zoltar.
Okay.
V.
Just do you say sending the one that's sending out loud? I know it has verbal components.
He's a swear message.
I don't remember if you have to say it on your end.
Can I post it for you?
No, I got it pulled up.
Okay.
And as you go to cast a spell, you watch as you see like he readies himself reflexively. The giant. You just so you know, you posted this at 4th level. Just in case
I
you use a spell
don't
slot.
have to.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
your Jugun.
Yeah.
Sunny, I thought Sunny was 2nd level. Damn. Nope, guess not. Yeah. And he sees you. That's you. Are you attempting to alarm your friends? There's archers lined up on the entire ridge here. If you think that they're going to come up here and do battle with me, then
I need help. I don't think we can get this door out there help. And you're mean. And she don't want any more crackers?
I'm not
Offer more
going.
crackers.
What are the conditions to get through here? You watched
Magic,
it, did you not?
I think.
Is that all? Just magic? And you, Zelta, you would be receiving this message as you guys were like in the room. And we'll come
Okay.
back to you in a second.
Gotcha.
Are you a magic man? I'm looking at the giant.
Yes. A simple question.
Oh, what magic did you know? That'd be very helpful.
Would it?
What's your name, by the way? I never got that. My name's Jungim.
I don't wish to be friendly with a tour guide.
Oh, well, you know, fine.
I have a. So are you just gonna obfuscate and try to keep him from what's it called? Like,
Can we solve it by ourselves? Because I would just solve it myself if I could.
well, he doesn't know the solution. Like, as far as you know, you don't have. You're not 7 people or 5 other people, so you don't have a solution on your own. No.
Yeah. So I wouldn't do anything. Yeah, I
You
would
know,
just say, yeah, I think that they should be coming to help us out because we can't do it on our own.
And you just hear about him. You'll outlive your youth soon enough. And you see he's begins atop the thing, experimenting with some spells. Most of which unidentifiable, I would say, just because actually you do speak giant, right?
I
I don't remember.
No, I don't think I do.
I thought somebody spoke giant.
Uh,
Oh, you speak dwarvish.
yeah, George.
Because as I said, dwarvish giant has some similarities, so you can kind of like piece out like syllables, but it seems that he's what's it called, channeling magic through the language of giants and like runes and shit. But cutting back to in the temple, as you guys are sort of looking around, finding the meaning of the words posted in front of you, Zelthar, you would get that message.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Guys, Jacob just sent me a message.
A
She
message.
said that she needed help and there's a big scary guy out there and that he's making her uncomfortable. At least that's what I remember from 5 seconds ago.
Do you think it's that same huge individual from the cave?
Maybe
Can we even stop this trial to go and help her? Or
that's
are
a
we
good question.
Zelthar, you can
set?
respond to.
Oh yeah, you could have responded to that message if you. That was another important thing that our.
Oh,
Oops.
I will
25 words or
absolutely.
less.
Because everyone says you can respond to this message, and Jungen didn't, so I guess that.
Okay, I'll say, okay, I'll try to come. That's it.
Okay. So yeah, you relay that. So you'd get that message back from Zeltar.
I'll say that before I tell everybody in the party. I think that's how it works. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's an immediate response.
So it's back to us.
Yeah.
And we're in a different trial, so we got something else to do. Can I roll something to see if we can find a way out? There's
mean-
like a cool portal.
The path to the entrance isn't blocked off. So you guys could go back over there. But going back up into that
As
thing.
far as we know, we don't know like what that might entail if we stop.
Yeah.
Right.
Were we told about these magic items that they would like explode outside the temple, or they just wouldn't work, or they like physically can't be removed?
Ellis
think
said
that-
that they would not work outside of the temple.
Okay, well that seems fine then. Is there like a lift that we can get back on at the start of the temple to go up the water and like
Yeah, you could step
up
onto
a
it and find
hatch?
out. Because that platform like that watery like stuff is still there.
All right. Well, I figure I ought to help. Anyone else coming with me?
I'll go.
Has anyone got dimension?
Not me.
Wait, I would
Dimension
have what?
door.
I
Dimension door.
technically do.
Because you could just go up and then pop back down with Dugan before they know what's happening.
And you hear, which one is it? Vaughn, sort of wizard of the other party, goes, "That is true. Dimension door would work like that hypothetically, but that requires us knowing the distance or knowing that we're within proper range. We don't actually know how far down we are.
So I can only do it once.
And apparating inside of rock is a terrible experience.
I would hope to do that.
Does she
Why
sound in
didn't we
danger?
just bring Jugin with us? Why didn't we just do that? We could have just done that and none of this would have happened. Because he never would have made it down past the puzzle. We would have... Oh, oh dear boy.
Well, I guess I'm going up.
Okay.
Taryn, you coming with?
Sure.
Are we all
I'll
going,
come
or
with.
just some of
It's
us?
like a 3-2 split kind of thing.
Let's split the party. Great.
Well... give me a sec.
Wait, who has what item?
I don't know.
Good question.
I don't know that we actually divvy them up, but we should leave them all here.
We can say for the sake of it, all the atoms are being left here, so I gotta
Okay.
do that
Okay.
right now.
Yeah.
Can
I'll
I just grab the orb? I just want to test the bounds of like what counts as Mistra's temple. Like, is the altar of Mistra's temple? You know, we could see if that works. Could be interesting.
Once you
go fuck
get
it up before
towards
we
like
get to use it.
that platform where the water is circled around, you do not have the future sight anymore. Once you're like
Hmm.
stepping up to it.
Ah, fair. Set the orb down then.
Right.
Well, no matter what happens, only one of me should come up. Because we don't want to, risk that. But, I'm sure one of us wouldn't mind waiting.
And at
Yeah.
that point, Ken would speak up. I would like to come up as well. If this is a scary guy, then I think we should send up as many people as we can spare, just in case.
Who is this speaking again?
Ken, he's like the barbarian kind of guy.
Yeah.
Alright, Sparks 2, you go up, I'll stay down. I think I'm a little bit more tapped than you on the spell slots right now.
Alright. So
I'll just start figuring out this puzzle while you guys are gone. Don't worry, I've got this.
That worries me.
And you hear Vaughn say,
Actually.
Are you sure
I'll
you don't want-
stay with him as well.
Yeah, I
That
will.
worries me less. I don't even know you, but that worries
Vaughn
me
and
less.
Ranford. It'll be interesting getting to see the other side of Sparks as well. Sure. So the team going up. One Sparks, one Zelthar, one Kalis, one Kin. That's 4. And Terran. Okay. So as you guys begin making your way back up towards the platform, as you step through it, and there is that sort of not wet sensation. It has the appearance of water, but it feels it almost feels like sort of dry, and it's also breathable, which is the more alarming part. Sort of readjusting yourself to breathing it in. There is a moment of sort of silent expectation as you're kind of waiting for something to happen, and then you all would see like how it would look visually is the best way to describe it is as you guys would be looking around, and then eventually like sort of checking yourself, it would seem that everyone is almost like dissolving. It doesn't hurt, sort of no pain in it, but you watch as people begin sort of dissolving and their essence swirling back up towards this top in this one like coalescing mass. It's almost like a whirlpool going upwards. And then probably about maybe like 5-6 minutes would have passed up at the top, Ethan. But you guys are the ones making your way back up would find yourselves sort of at the like water's edge of this area. Like around the platform. I have a
Time to kill, maim, and burn.
and you see this, as I said, this large figure. Now that he's in a much clearer light, um, is like the sort of like, how do I say, like sort of like natural like grotesqueness to him as well. He has that sort of very like grimy uh look about him. You watch as you guys begin apparating, like sort of like reforming at the edge of the water, next to the platform. You see,
As we apparate, can I do bolstering magic on my friends?
you would have had to do so before this, or unless you're going to like cast it as you guys are actually like appearing.
It's not like a spell, I just have to touch. I'm just gonna touch Zelthar and just like bolster him
Okay.
magically. Well, I guess what I mean is it doesn't have like casting components, right? It's like a subtle cast, theoretically.
Yeah. And as what's it called? They're beginning to appear. Um, you see the giant looking over you, Jungum. I already knew you were an unfamiliar face, but it seems that there's a lot more. There seems a lot more that I wasn't expecting, or it seems that there's a lot more now than we were following earlier. A lot more new faces.
Well, yeah, because we need more help. Yeah, if it was only the two of us, we could have just gone through it very easily.
Mm-hmm. And as you sort of say that, as they're sort of like, you see like their forms are beginning to solidify. Something to keep in mind as he sort of like leans in towards you. Make it clear to your friends that attacking me is not in their best interests, especially the small ones. Even if you do hurt me enough for me to leave, I will kill one of you. Maybe more. As he sort of smiles and stands back up.
I smile back at him.
So you all would come physical. You would see this figure standing maybe like 10 feet away from Jugun. As they're like at the platform itself. And as his eyes sort of scan all of you, watch as they sort of fixate on Sparks for a second, or Sparks 2. Before sort of examining the rest of the group. He just says, well, your help is here. Move on.
Yes, I think you're right. It is time for you to move on.
Hey guys. So he wants to come with us. And I would like to join you guys too. It seems like it's a fun time down there.
So we can see clearly that Russ got like shot up with arrows and stuff.
Yeah, Russ looks visibly injured. He would have taken the arrows out on the walk down. But you still see that like sort of the front of him is bloody a little bit.
Right. Right. Are you alright, Jogun?
Hey, I'm just fine. One of my skeletons is in the forest, though, so we need to pick it up before you leave.
I am just fixing the giant guy with like a stare, like of there is no way in hell that you're coming down with this vibe.
And what's it called? As you see him growing visibly impatient, is your conversation over? Jug? Whatever your name was?
Name. I was going to call you Trunky. Look like a tree.
Irrelevant.
You are not welcome here. It is time for you to leave.
He'd be turning around to look at you. Me being welcome isn't a factor I considered in whether I was going to come here or not, but thank you for your consideration. In fact, I actually had quite a party planned for afterwards. As he sort of holds his arm out, gesturing towards the tree line all around you. And you see at this point, there'd be several dozens of Yuan-Ti just in the area that you can see. Sort of like circling the area.
But they're not with us. They're just at a range.
Yeah, they're at a range. And from what you can see, they all are armed with bows.
Right.
Like short bows, though, or long bows?
They're all long. Yuan-Ti use longbows.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking the
Yeah.
question.
Yes. Longbows.
Are they within 150 feet of us, or are we a little bit further away?
Oh no, they're all around the center of this plate. Yeah, no, they're definitely within range of 150 feet.
Hey, Ethan, you got like an anti-arrow shell?
No.
Unfortunate.
I wish I would have thought better. I would have cast like what's it called? My Temple of the Gods. But I need an hour to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not convenient.
So what are you doing?
So, looking at my party, we all gonna fight this? Is that the plan? Eye contact. I'm not saying it out loud, but I know Sparks.
You can see Sparks is definitely ready for a fight, no matter what. He's like, nah. He knows that letting this guy in is gonna be a fucking bad time for us.
Kalis' eyes are shifting from side to side as if they're comfortable with getting out of the situation through whichever means possible. And he conveys that with his eyes. It's like the Mexican standoff glance, like the
Actually,
Dirty Harry. Someone do something.
I don't want to fight him.
This isn't my like race to fire the starting gun on, if you catch my meaning.
Okay, so I have an idea.
though.
A really, really dumb one. But, like, I'm gonna say it out of character. Sparks 2 has teleport right now, and there are less than 9 of us. He could just teleport us down, all of us. It takes an action back into the thing. But if I fuck up the roll, we're buggered. But it is the most effective way to not fight our way out of this.
You have luck though, right?
I'm so
I don't know if I
down.
can
Oh,
re-roll my
Teleport is a
roll.
D100.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. But I am very familiar with the place that I'm going to, so I don't need a very high roll.
That sounds like so much fun.
So my question is then, are you
Try to
going to
deal
like
with
play it off as you guys are going inside? Like do it like are you like how because you're going to have to trick him in order to do that.
It's
That's a good idea.
only an action to teleport.
You guys are not standing next to each other.
Why are we not standing next to each other? We've just apparated.
Yeah, around the altar.
How close do we have to be to one another for this?
Touch.
Yeah, it would be
Touch.
like holding hands.
Oh, can we just like make the circle smaller then? And, like, because he doesn't
No, my
know,
range is 10 feet.
so we have to be pretty close.
Yeah.
10 feet's pretty close.
Oh no, you don't have to be touching each other. Never mind. I'm thinking that's just how people always do it. I think.
Yeah.
That's teleport circle. I mean, generally you have to be close to each other, but like, either way, no matter what happens if I teleport, we're all, not gonna be here.
Okay. So my question is, what are you guys actually doing, so we could figure out what needs to see
Does
that.
anyone? Does any just in character before out of character before I do this? Is anyone against this idea? Because if they are, I won't do it. But that is what I would like to
I
do.
kind of want to. I kind of want
I
to.
want to.
Let's see
My
where it
plan,
goes.
if we do
Hopefully
fight
where we want
out
it to go.
banishment. But I didn't really want to say that because I'm not just going to tell my team that.
Are you able to bring Rust
I would-
also?
Right, Rusk doesn't know about this plan. Technically, none of you guys know what it is. So this is Sparks having to
don't.
subtly tell you what's going on without giving it away to the other guy.
Or just choose himself?
Is
and
there
just
a
hold
position that
someone?
I can stand currently where I would be within 10 feet of everyone?
No, not unless everyone moves in closer.
How big is this dais? I thought it wasn't that big.
It's pretty big, I think.
It is like 20 feet across, and you guys are spread around the edges of it.
Can I not like walk into the center area and be?
Are you? Is that? That's what I'm asking. What you're actually doing?
I'm asking if it's physically possible because Sparks would move up and then cast it, but if it's not possible, then I have to work out a way of, like giving everyone the eyes to group together.
It would be a thing where you would have to give everyone the eyes or signal in some way to them.
I
what
would
you're doing.
like to give everyone subtly the eyes to get closer together. Just
Those
like
all know hand signs.
Do we have to roll insight?
yeah, but we don't want to do hand signs because it's gonna tip off the big ass giant.
I'm sorry.
Like, would we be able to interpret these eyes, or would we have to like roll for it?
That depends what he's doing. Is that like that's
Okay.
all right? So here's what's gonna happen. There's a vague plan set forth. I'm gonna set a timer for 1 minute, and you're gonna tell me what your action is by the end of it, or I'm gonna make an action. Starting.
I mean,
now.
like, I want to, what's it called? I want to, like, I guess, like, I want to look at Dragun and, like, almost, like, signal, like, try and come a little bit closer, and then, like, at the same time, turn around as if I'm, like, stopping a little bit, like, maybe losing a little bit of my courage and,
Like hesitating.
towards the giant, yeah, and then look to the other guys to, like, try and, get that back, but, like, subtly tell them to get closer to me at the same time.
Okay. So if that's the case, I would like you to make a deception check to what's it called? Make sure the giant doesn't clue into anything.
Where the fuck is my sheet? Wow.
I was gonna walk up to it anyways.
Deception. Where is it? I'm gonna use my Tides of Chaos to give myself advantage because I feel like I need it.
All right.
26.
No, I'm gonna roll against that. Okay, so as you begin to make your way moving forward, you guys realize that sort of having the benefit of much lower frame and profile, he's sort of like eyeing you guys, and you watch as he sort of like waves his hand, underneath, like sort of like beckoning you all to come towards him a little bit. And as you all are beginning to move, the giant would step forward as well. The necromancer said that magic was required to pass. As he's sort of looking
Yes.
over at you, seeing you'd be the first one who stepped over. What are the conditions of the spells? Or is it one that only one of you happen to know? And everyone would be within about 10 feet or so if they're walking up.
It might just activate the circle anyway. I'm hoping that multiple people have to cast a spell, but like, fuck it. If not, then we're all fight him down in the crypt with less Yanti. So you see, it's very simple. I just have to cast this spell, and I snap my fingers and cast teleport on all of us, except for the giant.
Okay. So, with that, as you cast teleport, I need you to roll me a D100.
Can I roll it to just you?
I would find that entertaining.
I also would find that entertaining.
Me too.
I would not, but okay.
I mean, you're gonna find out exactly what happens when we apparate. So you know.
Yeah. So this is going to be a place that is seen cat. You have been here one time, so you would, in
Big
order to
money,
be
no wallies. Big money, no wallies.
in order to be exactly on target, you would need to have a 54 to 100.
I mean, like.
Because there's a big difference between very familiar and seen casually, and even in the description for teleport.
Yeah, I'm just looking for the description for it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're going, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I mean, it's already
So-
happening. I'm just, look, I'm regretting my decision.
Hey, as much listen, you can put more time between the roll and now that is as much time as you want between now and the roll, but it won't change the
So,
result
like,
of it once
if
it
I
comes.
get like, I'm just asking, if I get terrible, can I burn all 3 of my luck points for a reroll?
I'll allow that actually.
Is
What
that
did I
good?
need?
Oh,
I don't suppose I could add a D4 to them.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna have to burn my luck points.
So, as you say the words for teleport,
Oh wait,
no.
oh
Go ahead.
yeah, I needed a 54, didn't I?
You all begin to disappear like and flash of light. There is this sort of like sensation in your stomach as like almost as if you're being like in like zero gravity, as you can feel it turning. So
Elijah, is that's I needed to roll higher than that, didn't I?
so it is not on target, I will say, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. It was a
Okay.
44. So if you had rolled one
Well-
lower, you would be in a similar area.
Using luck, do I have to take the second roll or can I choose?
I don't remember the rules for luck.
I haven't used luck in years.
You can
Literally,
choose
yeah.
which is you can choose which of the rules.
Okay,
it
well
is.
in that case, then I'll blow all 3 and hope that I get a little bit higher. Because it would be really nice if we landed on target.
stay on
Oh,
target.
never mind. Basically the same roll.
Actually, if
It was
that's a markedly
I'll
different
take
roll.
the 44.
Yeah,
I'll take the 44. Thank you.
and as you guys are being sort of brought forth, there's this feeling of almost having to like push yourself, like almost as if you're being like forced or like pushed up against the wall. And eventually, as that force is beginning to build and you feel the pressure on you, there's a breakthrough, and there's a release of that tension, and you all find yourselves in a room, slightly what's it called? Fuck words. Sort of illuminated by these sort of light blue lights, similar to the braziers and the source scones you had seen when you had first entered the temple. But to describe this room to you, the first thing of note when you see is that there is not an obvious exit or entrance. You don't see any doors, hallways, or anything like that opening up from it. All along the floor and the ceiling, or no, I'm sorry, it'd be the walls and the ceiling. You do see these sort of various holes, each of which the size of roughly you could fit your fist in it, like fit your arm and hand in it. So like I don't know, about that big. And along a what's it called? Along the far wall, along the far wall would be sort of written in this old text. Sparks too can luckily read this very well given his current
Just
status condition.
briefly, we brought Rusk with us, didn't we?
I believe did you have yeah, you could have brought Rosk because you have.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
he's super dead. So he's in this black box Temple of the Gods now.
I would like to use my my earpiece and see if I can contact Sparks 1.
You can.
And basically, I just give him a brief, hey, things didn't go as expected. Had to teleport back in. We're in a room somewhere. But we're in the temple.
Better than not. Cool. So, with all that, I said the walls and ceiling marked with all like of these various holes, and on the far wall that you guys be facing as you came into this area, would be words in like an old magic language that you can translate. Sparks. It's saying, "Creativity is one of the greatest joys of magic. However, like all things, magic does have rules." Yeah, well, magic does have rules. Breaking them is something that Mystra rarely forgives. But given that it's gotten you this far, maybe breaking another will give you entrance.
I basically read this out loud and go, good at breaking rules.
So, however, like all things, magic does have rules. Breaking them is what you got put here, but breaking another may set you free. Was that
Yeah.
what it said?
Or, yeah, it may give you passage. And outside of the sort of holes in the walls and the text on the far side, there isn't anything else really of this room of note.
How many holes are there in total?
A lot to count. I said, so you get the room itself would be probably like a 20-foot square. And you're welcome to do the math if you would like. But each of these holes are about maybe like 2 feet apart. And they're just sort of lining like from like basically like knee level up to the ceiling.
Is there anything in the holes themselves?
Are you looking inside?
Mm-hmm.
So as you move forward to look, it seems that whatever is in there, your vision stops maybe like 3 or 4 inches into the hole. It seems that it's concealed by magical darkness.
Well, there's magical darkness in these holes. I guess we'll just not be able to see inside. Unless somebody has daylight. Or is a warlock.
Update late.
I don't say the last one.
You want me to cast daylight?
Well, the thing with daylight, unfortunately, is that you have to cast the same level as the darkness. I mean, if you want to try casting it and see if you can break the darkness, maybe it's just, it's like low level spell, but I don't know if
Is
we'll
it-
be able to break it.
Is it worth it to cast?
Well, if it's blocking something, then, I feel like it might be a clue. And I don't really see anything else in this room. And off the top of my head, I can't think of another way to break the rules of magic. What are the rules of magic? I never learned them. I'm a sorcerer. I turn to the wizard.
As you're looking
Oh,
at
wait.
Vaughn, the official rules, I guess, the casting of forbidden magic, that's one thing. There's limits on the spells that could be cast or that could have ramifications on your own body. The active spells having things that they cost. Spells are like formulas. Magic is a science for all intents and purposes. So just like one would have equations about physics or engineering, there are certain things that happen with magic, and if you don't use those equations, then it won't work for some of us.
Do you think me as a wild magic user, do I break the laws a lot? Is that what you're saying?
Fundamentally, yes, but it's a different type of thing. It's like if I am going through a town and I'm riding my horse and I happen to do it on all the walkways, I'm breaking a rule because I know that I'm not supposed to do that. If I was just a horse who happened to be running along the walkway, I am breaking the rule, but you're not going to get mad at the horse, really. So it's more the person who's in control of the horse, but you don't have anyone in control of you when you're a metaphorical horse. In your case, you being the horse.
I could try dispelling the magic. I'm upcast it pretty high. I'm kind of breaking the magic. Or breaking it in its own right.
You could always try dispelling magic, I suppose. That wouldn't be the worst idea.
And from that point, can I just stick my arm in one of the holes and see what's in there? Because there's a lot of thoughts.
Yes. I just,
You attached to that hand in case it goes away when you stick your hand in?
I've lost worse.
I can get you a new hand.
She means use your non-dominant hand.
Sure. And he will make his way over to one of the holes in the walls, and you watch as he sticks his arm in. It goes up to about like where his elbow is, as you see he's like reaching around, and he sort of crouches down so he can try and get a little bit further, or like get his arm straight. Because I don't see anything, I don't feel anything, and then he goes, "Wait a minute." And there is this sort of loud sound, like what's it called? Almost like a sound of like crashing stone. It goes as he sort of looks around. He slowly takes his arm out the wall. But as he does that, in front of you, you would watch above where the sort of words are, sort of like, yeah, I'd say like maybe like 5 feet above it, just so there's a clear separation. You would see a rune appear.
What does it mean?
The rune. Let me. I have to find. I don't have an actual picture of the rune. I just have to figure out which would be the appropriate one.
Is it a school of magic?
It's
Or
not a
is it,
school of
you know,
magic. It's just a rune on so that would be compounded with other runes in order to cast a spell, or like to like make like a glyph. That's the better word for it.
the beginning of a spell?
The meaning of the first room would be what's the best translation? It'd be like thoughts. Or no, memory. Memory would be like the sort of that first rune. Because is that good or bad?
Well, I mean, you have good memories, right? So probably good.
I haven't forgotten anything.
Well, you wouldn't know if you did.
I don't remember forgetting anything, so that's as good. If it was that important, I wouldn't have forgotten it.
Ooh, that seems fun. And I want to stick my hand, but like on the opposing wall from him.
Roll me a d12. Five. So, you see appearing next to it is another rune, and this room would be a rune that means like primordial.
Ooh, that's what I am. Oh, I know primordial because I'm not technically a primordial.
Yeah, it's very different.
Primordial as in elements, or like primordial as in
like primordial as in like basic or like fundamental.
I see.
I'll go to like if they're at opposite walls, I'll go to a one like perpendicular to them and just sort of like Did you go directly opposite of who was it that stuck his hand in there?
Kinsolve.
Ken. Did you go directly opposite to him?
Sure.
Yeah, you
Okay.
said you were going. I assumed you were.
I kind of want to like match it up so like it's even but perpendicular.
Mm-hmm. Oh, towards like
And
the back wall, or like
yes.
I'm trying to like if it's like T-shaped. Okay.
Yeah. Like I guess opposite to where the words are. I guess. Or the
Yes.
base of
Yeah.
your
Yeah. On the back.
hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll stick my hand in a hole.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a
Like
d12.
Silent fucking Hill here. Silent Hill 2. Oh god, how do I
/R d12, or you could do
slash
the, or
R?
you could click the dice. I believe. No, you can't. I don't remember how to use
I
this
don't
thing.
I don't see any dice.
Okay.
Watch me be the one to lose my fucking hand.
Um. So as you do so, you're sort of reaching around for maybe like a lever or knob or some sort of thing. You feel your hand like sort of like stuck for a second. Um, but when it does come out, or like when you feel it free, there is this sort of pressure around what would be your index finger. And there seems to be a ring wrapped around it. No, or I'm sorry, a ring is not the good word. It's almost like it would cover from like the base of your finger to the tip of your finger, because it covers the whole finger, and it seems to be made of like this gold material. But no runes appear in the walls.
Can I pull it off?
No,
Can I bend my finger?
you can bend your finger. It's flexible.
Okay. Can I like can I feel through or is it just like a casing?
It's like a casing. You can't feel through it.
Okay.
So we have
Well, I didn't.
memory, primordial, and
No rune
the ring.
appears. Yeah, or the
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a wand. Maybe you have to swish and flick.
Which finger did you say it was on?
index of whatever hand you
Index,
would have put
okay.
in.
Probably my left hand.
I guess I'll go and do it. I'll just pick a hole at random.
Okay.
You know, I'll whichever one is draws to me. You know.
Yeah. And you see as you go to do so, Vaughn is currently, he just sort of has some notes spread out as he's just sort of marking everything that's happening and the holes you guys are going to. Sparks, can you roll me a d12?
If you want. 5. Oh,
5. Okay.
the same.
So you would watch as the rune for primordial would disappear.
Ooh.
Sparks. Can I put my hand in again and mess with it and turn it back on?
Once you sort of put your hand back in and it reaches past that darkness, it's almost like you hit like the wall itself. You kind of just hit your fingers.
Well, I mean,
Breaking the rules of spells, as you hear sort of Vaughn murmuring to himself. So, normally spellcraft, these in the wizardly form, is caused by putting runes together in order to craft the spells themselves, but it doesn't seem memory on its own is not a spell, it's just an aspect. So I think maybe if we can get more of these up here, maybe we might be able to break the rules. What are other rules of magic?
Oh, sorry, were you saying something?
No, go ahead.
Hey, Taryn, do you need help getting that that thing off?
I mean, it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Like I can still bend my finger. It doesn't.
Just like
I
to
don't know that
remind
I.
you
Hmm?
of the last time that Kayla said he would help, and then, tried to cut my arm off.
Yeah, you still have the thing on your hand. Or no, it's on Sparks One's hand.
So-
Never mind.
Well, anyway, Taryn, high five.
What are you gonna do?
I just want a high five. I'm just curious about the
I'm gonna
ring.
high five him with my right hand
I
because I'm
high-
right-handed.
I will high five her, and it doesn't really change anything. I will cast detect magic
High five.
on the high
'Cause-
five, and I'm gonna inspect the weird ring situation that we got.
The weird ring, or the finger ring. It is obviously magical. What school of magic would it classify as? Conjuration. That'd be the first. That'd be like on the ring itself.
Uh-huh. Do I have any way of knowing if the conjuration is like... It's like... Is that the magic that conjured the ring itself? Or is the conjuration to do with something else?
You wouldn't really be able to find that distinction with detect magic.
Okay.
It's one of the curses of being a first level spell.
There's no spell that gives you more detail on spells.
I don't know.
Wish there was. I don't know. Well, the best I can tell is that ring is either summoned by the magic that is placed upon it, or it summons something else if you do something.
Really? Would I be able to recollect what the primordial rune looks like and like draw it with the finger, my like the gold case, like with my gold case finger on the ground, like to like trace it out?
Yeah, and as you would do so, you would watch as the rune appears in the ground in a similar, like, sort of golden light that the ring itself, or it's not a ring, I don't know what else to call this thing, is giving off. And it does, like, appear on the ground, yeah.
Hmm.
I'll
Cool.
do it with the memory rune.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll do it right next to it.
So the current phrase you have as you write it next is primordial memory.
Mm-hmm.
And it does not seem, it's just there.
Okay.
I would like to, considering that I was told, well, we were told that we need more symbols, I'm just gonna stick both hands in random places and try and get more symbols.
Okay, then just go ahead and roll me two d12.
There's no downside to this.
You pull your hands out of the holes in the wall, and you find them holding symbols.
8 and 12.
8 and 12. Okay, still fine.
I'm doing the same.
Still fine. I don't like that.
1 and 9. Or sorry, 2 and 9.
Okay, so Sparks, 2 more runes would appear. The first one would be the rune for fire, and the second one would be the rune for life, and Jugun, the rune for what's it called? Souls. And you also one of the rings also operates on your fingers. So those are the ones you guys currently have.
Do life fire.
Jungun does.
Is it also like a golden sheath?
Yeah.
No, I want one. Do like life and fire, because they're like opposites, and maybe if you do something that does both life and fire, then like maybe you break some laws.
Are life and fire opposites?
No.
Well, I mean, one hurts and one heals. If they're opposites in my head, fuck off.
Well, maybe with fire.
Won't you just summon some sort of fire primordial? Fire, life, primordial. That would be sort of like a spell.
Uh, possibly. You could try doing that as sort of Vaughn speaks up. See, from what I'm guessing, the runes itself aren't doing anything, so it's not going to have an effect until we actually attempt to cast the spell using said runes.
But they're glowing.
How will we cast a spell?
True. Can't argue with that.
The runes are the material part of this. So do we just say what we want to do with these runes, and then maybe what might happen?
Essentially, you would read them out, yes, and bend the weave with your word. No one here is a wizard. Oh,
What if I write the runes memory and fire next to one another, like below primordial life or primordial memory?
And you gonna make one fucked up spell, I guess?
I would write them underneath it, and then are they pronounced differently? Like, do I just say the words that I know them, or like, is there a special language that they're said
yes,
in?
you'd have to speak it in the language of magic, yes.
Could you do that, wizard?
Yeah, I could. I was just. You all seemed really excited. I was actually going to suggest that I do that. So, what primordial fire life, is that what we're attempting first?
Yeah.
You said memory, right?
There's two. There's primordial memory, right, and memory fire, or fire memory.
No, you already said memory. You said memory twice.
I think I wrote it twice.
Why don't we just keep going live? You know, if we keep adding it, you know, maybe we'll just get
Well, I didn't have
life.
I didn't have life the first time.
Okay. I'll start with the primordial fire life, and then we'll go on from there. And as he makes his way over, standing in front of the runes, you watch as Focus, his staff aglow in his hand, he speaks the words. And almost kind of like in the fashion, it almost comes out like in like almost like a dragon shout like fashion, you know, like on some Skyrim shit. And sort of you watch as the words begin to disappear from the ground itself, as they all apparate in the swirling, or they all what's called twist into the swirling mass of magic, and you see sparks begin to form as it lights a flame.
More of them.
Forming.
What's up?
I think both me and Sean jumped to the same place.
I said not more of them.
More, and I was like, more of me are forming.
And you watch as this sort of vaguely, it's like a vaguely humanoid, like looking like almost like child-sized creature made of this elemental fire appears, kind of just there, not doing anything.
I'm a wizard.
Did we make a fire baby?
I did a magic.
It's about the height of like a 4 or 5-year-old.
Fire child.
That was not the I guess that was the expected outcome. Primordial beginning, fire, life. Now that I'm looking at it, staring blankly into space, I really feel like I should have added soul in there somewhere.
Can you add it in now?
As he looks at it, he just says soul, trying to add in. And you watch as it seems to sort of add to it, but the energy that's around it dissipates. It seems that it's a one-time product.
What if I
Well,
write
why
it out?
didn't you?
Maybe if we
I was
start
gonna
from
say
the
do it
beginning.
again,
Yeah.
but like add
Yeah.
soul this time.
Okay.
Also, would you like me to stick my hands into the circles to see if we can get any more words?
By all means, if no one's lost a hand
Fine.
yet.
Yeah,
You've
I'd
got
like some
these
more
runes,
keywords,
that's fine.
please.
Let's go. There's no downside. I have absolutely. Remember, this is this box that has
All it, no
very
ego.
little.
Do I happen to know like the rune for like death?
You don't use arcane magic.
Right. So
8 and 6.
So
I'd like to
6.
roll too.
Okay, wow, you guys are doing good. 2 new runes would appear as the both of you begin in action. The first of which would be boom boom boom. Let me check which ones you guys have right now. Soul would be the rune of like uh what's the word? It'd be the rune of like fuck. I have to Google. I need a word.
The rune of Google. Could I summon Google so I can ask it how to break this win this puzzle?
This is not the word that I want to use. I cannot think of the word right now. I'm having a stroke.
Well, tell us the
Actually, wait,
word
no, no,
again.
no. I do know the fucking rune. I'm stupid. Ethan just asked about it. It would be the death rune. Because that'd be on the opposite end of primordial. Because that'd be the end. Or that's what it would symbolize, is the end of something. And the second word that would appear, it would be the rune for growth.
Huh.
Primordial fire, life, soul, memory growth, end. This seems like, I viewed out for the ending, I don't know.
Well,
So, sorry,
we
the
could
word was just
maybe
end. It wasn't death, but end.
It was like it symbolizes like the end of something or like finality, not necessarily
well,
just death.
Can you?
probably
Death would
What
be.
did
use
the
that
text
to
say again?
What's up?
What did the text say again? Can you post it?
Yeah, give me a second. I have to remember exactly what I said. Bum, 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 bum. There you go. Revedia is one of the greatest joys of magic. However, like all things, magic has rules. Breaking one is what sent you here, yet breaking another may set you free.
So what rule of magic do we need to break to leave?
Well, at this
What
point,
can we break?
Vaughn's going to speak. The closest thing I could mingle, or I could, what the fuck? A certain, where the fuck did that word come from? Is if we intend to be casting a spell, we have to cast it wrong, maybe.
Hmm.
I'm assuming they want us to cast it wrong in a particular way. As he sort
What
of
if?
oh, go ahead.
Go.
As he sort of, Taryn, could you rewrite the runes for me?
All of them?
Yes.
All the ones that we have, or the ones that I did before?
All the ones that we have. I want to try something.
She writes them out. A line.
So, he as he begins to read out them, you notice that he's doing it in a different order. As he goes end, memory, growth, life, soul, primordial, leaving out fire this time in an attempt to cast a spell. And you watch as from the words this time, this creature begins to apparate. Not on fire, because he did not use this one this time around. But you watch as almost like seeing like this sort of like doesn't have like a full body like it's like what's the words? It is like just an apparition. It doesn't have like a full body to it. But you watch almost like some Benjamin like Button type thing of this figure growing or starting off like as this older figure and then sort of coming into its youth until it becomes like a child and disappears. I feel like that's against the rules.
Well, I mean, I've seen Sparks get younger.
Wait, time.
And shorter. And taller.
That's
Mm.
that's one of the, messing with time is a fairly big taboo within the magical world. Um,
We've met someone that did that too.
And someone came for him. That
Yes.
force.
And that thing they had with them.
What was their issue against him? Was it that he was traveling through time, or was it that he...
No. Hold on, I wrote
oh,
it down.
oh hell yeah.
Sorry, what were those creatures called again, Elisha?
The ones that came for him. I actually have that thing fairly
Or
close
what
on
was
me.
his name? I'm just trying to find it in my
Briggox.
notes.
Brigox, I believe.
Thank you.
However back was that?
Yeah, because he was using... He was like
Use
draining
use
the
it.
land into his
Mhm.
magical engine that
Here we go.
was powering his chronomancy.
Yeah.
And his tower was like existing in several places simultaneously. So there's like some paradoxy type elements to that.
Yeah. He was existing in multiple places in time at the same time, as well
Yeah,
as
he had.
naturally extending his life.
I have his charges written down. 4,964 times cheated death, manipulated flow of time on self and on the plane, manipulated his lifespan. He existed at a time he should not exist, and the influences of time before his own. That was that far back.
So it's a bunch of like paradox things and yeah, just paradoxes like seem like logical like breaks in like the fabric of space-time was his problem, or what was wrong with him.
And let's see, may I propose an idea based on? I'm assuming you guys are telling him this information. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
It would be rather something we should probably do, maybe a bit more experimenting before. But it sounds like the spell needs a target, because right now it's just creating a summoned creature who's experiencing these. No one's breaking any rules because it doesn't have anything to it necessarily. Hypothetically, if one person were to be sort of sent back in some aspects, that feels like it would count in some way.
Sent back
Yes.
in time.
Yes. I don't know if this is actually sending anyone back in time, but at least it seems to be. It's not literally doing so. It seems to be the representation being put here.
Nose goes.
No, are you going? You touched your nose. Does that mean that you want to go?
Wow. Yeah.
I-
I'll go.
I mean, I've already been. I feel like
Are
as
you?
the person that breaks the weave on a regular basis, it should be me.
Well, but you're kind of. You're.
Yeah, so
Already
what's
broken.
splitting in two another time's gonna give me? I mean, do we really
Well, we
want
don't.
2 Juggins?
Maybe two clerics is not a bad thing.
Yeah, but like, do you know how like happy and go lucky they are? They would want to touch immediately, and then bada bing, bada boom.
But what if something else happens to you because you've already had all of this stuff done to you? I don't have magic. I can't cast magic, so maybe it's safest on me. I'll go.
I mean, don't we need the person to do it to be able to cast magic though?
No,
No, no,
I was
I'm the
going to
target.
Them both.
target somebody with the spell.
Use me.
Why?
Okay. Whatever happens, I just wanted to be said. I'm not doing this without reservation, so I apologize. And as the words are rewritten again, and he says, what's it called? Them to you. There is a brief moment where you see Terran suffused with a sort of golden light. And you watch as like her visage begins to change. You see the sort of like a much older Terran that begins to sort of turn back. And the feeling for you, Terran, isn't like you don't feel old. You're not like for you. It's a very like relaxing sensation almost, sort of bathed in this warm light. And then you feel yourself beginning to shrink, and you watch as what's it called Terran gets to the point, sort of slightly floating in the air in this infant form, and then she disappears. So as Vaughn looks around, is that good or bad?
No, it's bad. Where is she right now?
There was no part of the spell that was meant to change her location.
Yeah, but she disappeared though.
Yes, I understand that. Yes.
Could I poke the spot where she used to be? Is there anything?
On the ground or anything? No.
Nothing where she used to be.
No.
Not even like a fine dusty residue.
It's like there was never one standing there.
All right. Well, reorder the runes in reverse and cast it again and get her back. Like
Okay.
undo what you just did.
Okay, Jagan, could you please draw the runes this time?
I draw the runes.
Okay, and as he does so, let's see. This is going to be a little bit complicated because I don't have a visual target. But we'll see what we can do.
Well, you said you didn't move her, so
Yes, that I didn't do it. That was not my part. The spell did not do that. And he is going to say the words like in the order, reverse from now. And you watch as there is this sort of look of confusion as he's finished casting it, and his head. The spell, I felt it function, but something. There was some other effect that was stopping some of the essence. And we're gonna cut to Terran. So, Terran, as that sensation fills you, and you find yourself watched to glow with this sort of shining light that is blinding for a second. You can't see anything in the surrounding area around you until the light begins to fade, and around you is darkness. Not a pitch black, still visible, but with this sort of like almost like it's like dusk. It's still dark, but you can see a little bit, and oh shit! Almost dropped my book. Put that aside. In the area, you see maybe what's it called? Ahead of you, about 60 feet, is a familiar cabin.
Oh, fuck.
And on that, and away from that, maybe on like standing by like a cliffside, about maybe like 20 feet away from that cabin, is you see a figure just standing there, arms crossed, looking into the distance. Looks taller, humanoid, male.
Are there any lights on in the cabin?
You see a single light coming from inside, or like coming through the window.
Does it look like the figure I can see is facing toward me or out somewhere else?
He's facing towards the cliffs. He's like looking out upon the cliffs.
Hmm. Sorry, I'm just writing this down real quick. I want to try and make my way to the cabin without alerting him.
So as you begin creeping over to it, um, you hear him, his voice sort of picked up by the wind. Oh dear Taryn, I pulled you in here. Did you really think I didn't know you were here? As he sort of turns.
Stop.
Come
I
on.
don't.
We both know you're not that foolish.
I didn't know that you pulled me in here.
Who else would do it? No one wants to be here except for me. Please. I invite you inside, though. I'd like to have a drink with you real quick. A chat for old time's sake.
Do I have much choice?
Well, given the choice, you always seem to go along the lines of being the difficult one, so I would say yes. But as you know, saying no to me doesn't rarely does anyone much good.
Yes.
So you watch
Right.
as the door to the cabin swings open. Only what's it called? What's lit up by a small sort of oil lamp in the center of a table. And it's like it's rather crude. So it's like a small cottage. In any other place, this could be cozy. But with the sort of palpable air or palpable what's it called sense of misery that pervades every bit of this place, it kind of puts a damper on it. And as you step into the room, you watch or you see him already sat at the head of the table. Into which he pours a drink into a glass and he slides it over in your direction. He gestures towards one of the chairs.
Oh Jesus. I will sit and grasp the drink.
As he takes a slow sip of his, letting the tension build for a second. Taryn, have I ever told you how much I absolutely love the drama created in a situation like this? Of all the times I could have taken you in your sleep at any point to have this conversation, after taking a fatal wound, your quite friends wondering ever you're going to wake up again, now they get to wonder how long it's going to take for you to ever appear again. I wonder what they're thinking right now. Angry at Vaughn? Scared for you? Any number of things. But that's all irrelevant. I've brought you here because I have something that, well, I've probably only one thing that you really want. But I'm here to give you an opportunity, Taryn. You've done your research. You know a bit of my history. And I sense the makings of something great coming, something that you are very, very close to. I love so much the act of a tragedy well executed, of lovers lost forever, of a best friend taken. And the more I've kept an eye on you, the more that I have realized that you have found yourself in those opportunities so often. And here you are, with a friend, bonds formed through blood and fire. And he is trying so hard to grasp the opportunity to give his mentor, the one person, not the one person, maybe. I don't care that much to watch him that close. But the person who has shaped him into the one he is today. And what has that come? You guys are heroes. And what would be more tragic than him failing? Getting so close to the finish line, realizing that he could never help her.
No.
It's a simple idea, something I wanted to float by you, that's all. In fact, it's something that I find much more interesting than, well, whatever has to do with you. You've kind of, how do I say gently? The air of drama that follows you is something I've lost interest in a while ago. Me holding on to your sister right now is to simply keep whatever squeeze whatever entertainment out of you I can. But this, the Temple of Mystra. Oh, the Raven Queen would love this. Which is why I would take it for myself before she can find out about it.
How would you take it?
Same way I always do. In order for there to be, this would be a little bit artificially, but my deal has always been very simple. I know when something terrible is going to occur, and I offer those who need it a simple hand in order to take them away from such a terrible fate, but it always comes at a bit of a cost they're not prepared for. The problem is, the more I see how you all function, I don't see a clear path for failure. I know it's possible, but I need an opportunity to make sure that when I stretch my hand out in order to prevent said tragedy, someone will be reaching for it.
What do you want me to do about this?
You're creative, Taryn. I don't have a 5-point plan for you to follow. But I know you're subtle, you're deceptive. You learn the tools of the trade. You know how to create opportunities, chaos when needed. There's going to be a pivotal moment at some point where you all will be able to grasp the power and the blessing of this place in order to do, or in order to restore that to whatever her name is. Something has to happen to begin to prevent that. I'm just asking you to set the wheels in motion. You don't have to stab your friends in the back literally. I wouldn't ask you to do that, and also I don't think you have it in you. Too soft for that. But maybe this way you can get away with only a guilty conscience and I don't know what happened. If only that had gone another way. Those thoughts swimming in your mind instead of blood on your hands.
Why would I do this?
Because as much as you care about your friends, as much as they have done for you, you don't care about them more than your sister, and that's what's on the table right now. I think it's a fair trade. One for one. One that I can find much more entertainment from.
What would happen to him?
Well, that depends on how our conversation goes. Or his and Sparks. Or potentially whoever.
Isn't what?
That would happen, or he was. Well, that would depend on how the conversation between me and him goes. What deal, and there's a little bit too many factors, but at the end of the day, is it really your problem?
How how would you know? How closely are you able to watch these events? Or me?
Mistra's temple protects some from outsiders, but these events like these are ones that I have domain over, even in other places. When the time strikes, oh, when these opportunities present themselves, I will always be present to them. I just simply have to wait for them to happen. As I said, Ton, you're worrying too much about the details. You don't need to know the hows, the whens. I just need to know if you have the ability to do. Or you can think on it for a little while. I'm sure it's going to be a long walk till you get to the end of this place. Evaluate how
Well,
much you really like them. Evaluate how much you actually love your sister.
you do know what I'm capable of, don't you?
That's what I started to like you in the first place.
Hmm.
Think on it. You can see yourself out when you're ready. As he pours himself another drink.
How big is the drink? Like, is it something that I can do in one go, or is it like
It's
I'm
yeah,
just gonna down it. Fuck it.
yeah, fuck it.
Dude, what is it? Does it make me feel woozy or anything? Is it
No, it just
what
seems
is
to be like some sort of ale.
okay, it's fine. And I will yeah, I'll down that and then where is she?
In the literal sense, she's still on this plane. Another location that I have. This is usually where I just conduct meetings and such. It has a more casual facade. Um, but outside of here, she lies within she. It's not well, so it's not a keep. She lies within my manor. You thought this was the height of luxury I could attain?
I don't presume to assume anything.
No, so just because
Well,
I have it on another page, this is Marisil, not Usharon. Sean.
no, I
Yeah,
definitely I got that.
I was letting Sean know
Yeah.
because I saw notes
Oh,
on
okay.
the other tab or the other monitor.
Oh, yeah. I haven't even looked at that. Yeah. Well, now I know my options, and I thank you for that.
Gesture towards the door.
Out of character for a moment, would I have any sense to know if like he could like look in directly at me, or is it just like a sensing? Like I know he's like the sensing of the events and stuff like that, but like would I think that he'd be able to like spy on me at all, or like peek in of what I'm doing?
It seems from like what his words are, or the way he's sort of talking about you, he has some way to keep tabs on you outside of just a vague knowing.
Okay.
Which would also make sense because he's literally at your side.
Okay.
But yeah, as you would step through the threshold of the door, you would feel stone underneath your foot as a sort of heavy fog takes over the area. But when your vision and the fog dissipates, corrects again, you find yourself in front of the statue of Mystra at the entrance of the temple.
Oh,
And
well,
you hear, meanwhile, on the other side, Vaughn's just going, I did it. Something's interfering with the spell. I don't know why she has not reappeared yet, but it is causing me great concern.
did I hear them?
No, because they're in a
Oh,
separate room. You would have appeared like when you like entered the area.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you
Okay.
probably hear us through the earring. Or us collectively
If you're talking through the
losing our
earring,
minds.
yeah.
You've got a magical earring.
Everybody
Well,
should have them in
I
the party.
mean, terms of honor, have you considered that, like, maybe that was the breaking the laws, and that you just need to cast it on everyone, and then we'll all leave this place?
I have considered that, and that's why I'm hoping that wherever she went was somewhere she was supposed to go. However, I certainly cannot bring her back. I don't know why that's an issue.
Taryn, can you hear us? I say through the earring.
You'd be able to from that distance.
You alive? I would hope.
I'm alive.
Uh, that's a relief. Where did it? But you're not here.
I'm at the front of the temple again.
All right.
I
I'll
guess you were right,
relay that
Fawn.
that seems to have worked.
Okay. Well, okay, that's great. That eliminates that concern. I guess we should continue the process then. Whoever's going next.
Me.
And the last person will be myself. As the process repeats, and Sparks, you are sent over with no problem. And so on and so forth until the last people there are Vaughn and Jung-un. He would have you draw the words an extra time just for him, because he cannot draw them when you're gone. And you all would reappear.
Hey, that went well.
Thank God that worked. Well,
Yeah.
Hey, you can add that to your bucket list. We broke the rules of magic. That's like badass wizard things, right?
I think so. I'm pretty sure it's allowed. She told us to, so we shouldn't get any divine punishment or anything like that for it. Not like earlier.
What
I don't
are
know
you
what
kids
mean.
doing in my temple?
I guess we can go see if they've made any progress in the color room. I think that's what I've dubbed it.
I mean, they've been in there for quite a while, so one would imagine. We walk in and there's just fire. Everything's on fire.
All the stone is on fire somehow.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of this. Where is it at? I can't read. Boom. As you just as a note of progress while you guys were in there, can you make me an Arcana check at advantage for Sparks 1?
Sparks 1, yes I can.
And that'll be Ranford helping, and I'll make another one for Alice.
Arcana.
17. So, as you guys arrive to the room, you see the others waiting alongside the sort of wall at the end where there's this sort of like fusion of colors. It would have like at where like the point is, the like sort of corner would like have formed like an archway of like darkness that creates a path to move forward. Instead of just doing, we're gonna say that with the collective brain power of you guys there, we're able to make it through the thing, so we can proceed. I'm sorry if you really wanted to do that one. Considering that was our
Which one did we proceed through?
the one
This
that
is the-
the mirror room and all the colors.
Oh, okay.
Basically, it was solved off screen by the other Sparks and the people left behind.
You know, they're competent. But sort of Ella's turn. Oh, waiting on you guys. Everything good?
I teleported us into a different place, but we figured it out by breaking the rules of magic.
Oh, that sounds like a terrible thing to do in the Temple of Mystra, but if...
She gave us permission.
Oh, that's probably fine.
It
then.
was crazy. It was literally written down like, you broke the rules of magic, so break some more to get out of here.
Oh, that's kind of sick. I didn't
It's
know
kinda
Mystra was cool like
hypocritical.
that.
Do
I
I
don't
still have a
know.
golden finger?
No.
Okay,
I'm sorry to disappoint.
that's okay.
Also, I should let you guys know that like upstairs, the giant and a shitload of Yuan-Ti are around there. And it's kind of the reason that I had to teleport, because if we'd fought it, we might have died. So,
Yep, don't go upstairs.
Oh, somebody died.
oh, oh god,
Ethan.
I've killed Dragon. I've killed Dragon. So the
Goddamn.
bit that I was referencing, Liz, was the the basically your disappearance stuff. I missed all of that because it went roboty.
That's
And then as
hilarious.
soon as you said that you were going to the cabin, that's when I came back.
Did you miss everything that happened? Like the whole conversation?
No, no, no. Like as soon as you said like, "Hey," in the darkness, like you wake up in the darkness and you begin heading towards a figure. That's when I began to hear again. But like
Okay.
when Ethan began drawing the runes for Vaughn, and then to that point, I missed like a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Oh, he just cast the spell backwards on me, and I like got old and then smaller and younger, and then everybody saw me just vanish. And that's pretty much it.
Oh, that was way more creepy than I thought. So what does young Taran look like?
What?
Younger?
Visibly different?
I mean,
Happy? Do you look happy?
no.
Oh,
Been a long time.
I didn't get to see Kalis fucking... Oh, that would have been good. He might have popped into his
Yeah, I
human
mean,
form briefly.
as I got younger and younger, sort of got indecisive. Like, is he a deer? Is he a guy? Like, what's really going on there?
It'd
There's a lot
be
of
fine.
waffling in the middle.
Puberty must have been real weird.
We're
Oh
not.
no.
I'm not gonna talk about that.
Ethan said his internet went out.
Oh shit. Well, we'll give him
Well,
a couple seconds, I guess, to get that together.
Ethan's fucking dead.
Dragon was just astonished by what happened, speechless.
Damn.
What's damn?
It would have been really funny if you missed the whole conversation, though.
Yeah, that would have been fucking terrible. That would have been that would have been so. That would have been
Oh,
golden.
I mean, I wasn't there anyway, so it wouldn't have made any difference. All I could infer from it is that I'm gonna have to make a choice in the future, maybe.
well, we all need to make choices all the time.
Yeah, but an important one.
We all make choices all the time. It's like some shit you say when like you're like a cis dad who walks up and sets their hand on like a troubled kid's shoulder and says, "Oh, we all make choices all the time, Jimmy. Oh,
mean,
you just have to make the best ones. Now, don't do reefer now."
well, I mean, as our characters, we make a lot of tough decisions sometimes, so.
True.
I'll make the stupidest, and it's great.
All right. Well, what time it is? 9:07. I'll give Ethan 9:19, and then I'm gonna put you guys in the next room.
Okay.
What I meant to say when we were doing the teleporting thing is that I was going to use one of the magic items that we got, so almost as a tuning fork, so it would be easier to teleport.
I thought you guys left them in there.
No, we said we were taking them. You just said they weren't working.
No,
No,
we
you
left them.
Caleb
left them with
took
the
it
other
over towards the
party.
altar to see if it would what the range of it was. But I remember you guys distinctly saying you were leaving him in there. I'm gonna actually get the
Well,
graphics.
I guess I must have zoned out in that.
Okay.
That's okay.
It worked out anyway.
We took a long rest from when we fought the Yuan-Ti the first time.
Nope, this is the same day. That's as far as I remember.
No, we marched through the night, I think. We were like, it's just a couple more hours, let's keep going.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
Correctamundo. I never put my phone in the fucking charger. I just grabbed my charger.
Yeah, we have not rested since we got to this whole area. Basically.
That's okay.
Hey, am I wrong? Didn't you have to like leave in 10 minutes, Elisha?
At 9:30, yeah. So that's why I was gonna put you guys to the next stream so you guys have a good ending note. It'll give you a little something to think about.
I already have so much to think about.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
All right.
Is there like a mall map of the Temple of Mystra that says like you are here and we're like challenge 1 of 20 or something? Or challenge 2 of 20?
No mall maps, just vibes. No general sense of direction.
Damn.
Okay. Just 9:19.
Sorry, Ethan.
I'm not even gonna fix the camera. Fuck it.
Word is all vibes.
Bro, you died.
So. As you guys sort of regroup, taking a second, and then heading into the next area, this hallway descends a bit further into the earth, and you see lights ahead, outlining the sort of entranceway, or like the exit to this tunnel, I guess it would be. And before you is a large area, almost set up like a Colosseum ring. You see these several like outcroppings and like other things in the area, and lining at least the area right now on like the sort of edges of it would be like sort of like lots of like dried like shrubs and like greenery, like dead trees, that sort of thing. And there's like from where you are is like a sort of path towards like the actual like grounds themselves in like the center of that like clearing. And I'm assuming if you guys want to inspect the area before you walk in, you're more than welcome to do so. But I'm gonna assume you're going in.
Yeah.
So as you all make your way into this place, you watch as in you guys standing in like the area, a sort of dais begins to rise up out of the center, sort of leaning towards you a bit, and you see these words, which you got a good old translator here for you. The Spark says you read out to the party, or you want me to send it to you and you can read it? No? Okay.
No, you do it.
The dais will say, all spells spoken are given life when forging paths may give you strife. The first words wrought are trial by fire, for naught burns brighter than heart's desire.
Oh boy, you gotta say that one more time.
I'll copy paste it into
I'll
the
type
chat.
it out.
Thank you, thank you.
Sparks will just
but
sigh
for the
after.
stream, can you
read-
read it out one more time?
Yeah. All spells spoken are given life. When forging your path may give you strife. The first words wrought are trial by fire, for naught burns brighter than heart's desire.
Sparks will
a sick
sigh
riddle.
after reading this, and then say, "Why is everything in this temple riddles?"
Gods, they're never really straightforward with much of anything. Sort of Ellis would speak up. Many ancient texts make them very hard to decipher, especially in different languages. You don't get all the inflections and the tones. You should actually trust very little religious translations. A lot of inaccuracies in those. better to read them in your native language if you can understand it.
Most poems in the wilds are just pretty flower, morning shower. What a wonderful day it is.
It
This
rhymed.
stuff is a bit. It's a bit. I feel like they're trying to make it bad and not fun for us. Just kind of complicate things.
Yeah, I feel like that checks out. I mean, wasn't the whole thing that there's something to be earned here?
Yeah, we're earning the respect of one of Mystra's people, I think.
And so the Vaughn walking up to it, all spells spoken are given life. That, for those first two lines, actually concerned me quite a bit. As, oh, Ethan's back.
Hey!
You guys walk into a room, it's vaguely like Colosseum-like. There's like dead shrubbery and all that stuff around you. And that is what the words were on, or those are the words that were on there. They're in the chat. So the question is it going to be a good thing or a bad thing to start casting spells?
Well, I could always start it off and, let's see.
Oh, by all means.
Exit spells.
What?
Guess I'll cast Bless on everyone. The three people close. Well, me and two other people.
Sure. So, I would actually like you to say the specific targets of these people. You could pick whoever you want, but
I guess me, Vaughn, and who else is smart?
Help.
What?
Is this Sparks 1 or Sparks 2 casting?
So actually, yeah, Sparks will cast it on the other Sparks. There you go.
Is
That's
this
all right.
Sparks 1 or Sparks 2 casting?
Sparks 1.
okay. So, what's going to happen is as you say the words targeting each of the people and yourself with the spell, you watch as this sort of light is bathed upon all of them. You know, very typical of when every time you've seen blessed beforehand. However, you watch as the essence of the spell, the sort of slight glow that one has when blessed with said magic, is almost like beginning to be like siphoned off of them and yourself. You watch as it's sort of gathering around your body, and you see it shift and move, and it's in this sort of like swirling mass about right in front of each of you, maybe like 2 feet away. Ethan's dead again. And you watch as in the mass you see this form beginning to take shape. Very I can't speak English. You see this form beginning to take shape in the math, in the mass, not math. There's no math here. And as it does so, you see it looks like a very like small like humanoid. You see it has wings across its back, and the more alarming part is in its hand you see what seems to be a blade of some sort. And these things, it's only maybe like 6 to 8 inches tall, but they all fly right at your faces.
So the cherubs with knives, basically.
How many are there?
There's one for each. There's one on each person who bless was cast on. And with the sort of essence of this bless spell coming over onto you, I'm I'm gonna say we can roll initiative next session.
Yeah.
One more question, Elijah.
Oh, of course.
One last thing. For not burns brighter than heart's desire, is that hearts a plural possessive?
Yes, there should be an apostrophe there.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Well, multiple hearts desire.
Just double checking.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. Wait. No, not multiple. It's a possessive desire. So like the desire of a heart.
Oh, sorry.
So a singular heart's desire?
Yes.
Okay. I was right. I was right then.
Mistress Temple is bad. The puzzles make me sad. Would you please just give back the magic our friend once had?
And with that, we'll see y'all next time. Thank you very much for joining us. Yada yada yada. You know how Dungeons and Dragons goes. Everyone's saying goodbye now, and those you can't see on cameras because they're cut off
Bye.
also said goodbye.
Goodbye.